Good evening to you on this Wednesday night, and we begin with the new video from one American mother asking the terrorists of ISIS to show humanity, asking that they be merciful and let her son live. They are the same killers who executed James Foley, and tonight we are learning more about them as that other American journalist released after nearly 2 years is home and speaking for the first time. ABC's chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross back on the story for us.
I am Shirley Sotloff. My son Stephen is in your hands.
The mother's emotional plea came 8 days after ISIS said it would execute her 31-year-old journalist son, seen in the same video release that showed the execution of James Foley.
I want what every mother wants, to live to see her children's children.
Shirley Sotloff directed her plea personally to the ISIS leader, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, a brutal megalomaniac who claims he is the caliph, the prince of the Muslim world. And that is how she addressed it.
I've always learned that you, the caliph, can grant amnesty. I ask you to please release my child.
For another American mother today, anguish turned to joy as her son, journalist Peter Theo Curtis, returned home to Cambridge, Massachusetts, after being held for 2 years by a different jihadist group in Syria.
I had no idea that so much effort was being expended on my behalf. And now, having found out, I am just overwhelmed with emotion.
As much as the American hostages have focused attention on the Syrian terror groups, it is the American recruits who have joined them that most worry authorities. Today, new details emerged about the background of this American jihadist, Douglas McCain, killed fighting for ISIS in Syria over the weekend. It turns out McCain's high school in suburban Minneapolis, the Robbinsdale Cooper School, brought together at least 2 Midwestern boys who went on to become terrorists. This family photo shows McCain on the left, and on the right, his high school classmate and friend Troy Castigar, who later died fighting for the Al-Qaeda group in Somalia.
This is the real Disneyland.
There was sure no indication while they were students of ours that they would turn to violence.
And could there be a third jihadist from the Minneapolis high school? This video of a Syrian militant shows the gunman wearing a sweatshirt that says Cooper Hawks, the distinct lettering of the Cooper High School athletic mascot, the Hawks. As Steve Sotloff's mother awaits word on the fate of her son, the U.S. announced today it had carried out 3 more airstrikes against ISIS, clearly ignoring the terrorist threat to kill Sotloff if the bombing continued, Diane.
With the very latest, as always, Brian Ross. Thank you, Brian. And now we turn to another big story developing in the West tonight. Officials warning stay out of the water, and here's why. Monster waves, powerful rip currents fueled by a storm offshore. At least 1 person has died, and ABC's Nick Watt is there amid concern that the waves and the floods are only getting stronger.
Here at the infamous wedge in Newport Beach, California, 20-foot waves are crashing in. The water is treacherous. And so, it's the sand.
I don't think we've ever seen such a thing like this ever.
Tropical Storm Marie, 800 miles from shore, is whipping up waves, drawing dozens of surfers and thousands of spectators.
And that's been since '97 that I've seen surf that size of the point.
Will you be glad when it's over?
It'll be a little bit of weight off the shoulders. Take a deep breath and relax.
There was flooding overnight a little further north in Seal Beach. Yesterday in Malibu, a surfer died after he was dragged from the swell. Today, another was rescued by none other than surf legend Laird Hamilton.
Laird grabbed his fins, swam out to him, and they brought him back in.
Over on the East Coast, coincidentally, Hurricane Cristobal is right now whipping up 8-foot surf. A 17-year-old swimmer was killed off Sandy Hook, New Jersey, an 18-year-old off Ocean City, Maryland. Here in Newport Beach, they know the risks.
This is what we live for.
A bit frightening?
Yeah, but fear is good for you. The people that go in there are definitely risking life and limb, and our guards are very careful about who we let go in the water.
Diane, I brought my wetsuit, but there is no way I'm going in there with currents, the rocks, and the waves. This is definitely just for people who really know what they're doing. Peak surf hit here today, but Southern California will see big waves at least through Friday. Diane?
Fierce out there, and thank you, Nick Watt. And now let's find out more about what's next from ABC's meteorologist Ginger Z. Ginger.
Diane, Marie is still propelling those waves towards Southern California. And as Nick was mentioning, I want to show you the path. What's going to happen here, tropical storm now, weakening, yes, but still 800 miles or so away. That rough surf pushing into Southern California. What you're seeing right here would be wave heights. So close to the center, there's some 25 plus wave height. And then you get closer to the shore, and that's where you have those 10 to 15-foot swells. So the high surf advisory is in place in Southern California until Friday. And then in the Atlantic, we're watching that hurricane move still away from land. We've got the rough surf, the dangerous whip currents, and the peak for this, the timing for this, improves on Thursday for the southeast. But you go for the northeast and New England. If you're starting your holiday weekend early, please be careful on the beaches here.
Be sure to check if you're going to a beach. Thanks so much, Ginger Z. And now we head back overseas, where ABC's chief medical editor, Dr. Richard Besser, continues his extraordinary reporting. He has traveled to Liberia, the hot zone of Ebola, where tonight one of America's top health officials, the head of the CDC, is on the ground. And Rich reports in. Rich.
Diane, the head of the Centers for Disease Control, Dr. Tom Frieden, is touring Liberia, assessing the Ebola outbreak. And I caught up with him at the country's largest Ebola treatment center. 120 beds, it's totally full. And he told me that this outbreak is a threat not just to the region, but to the entire world. And that if we don't take aggressive action, we could be dealing with this for years to come. But I also saw a glimmer of hope. You remember that clinic I showed you yesterday, the makeshift one where patients were waiting to be treated, bodies were being carried out? Well, today I saw the construction of a 400-bed Ebola treatment center by Doctors Without Borders. This is the kind of center that's going to provide the type of care that could actually save lives. Diane?
Rich, thank you so much for taking us inside the reality of Ebola in Africa. And back here at home, a debate tonight prompted by a video of a 9-year-old girl at a gun range in Arizona learning to shoot a powerful automatic weapon. ABC's Clayton Sandell tells us what happened next.
The girl in this video is 9 years old, from East Coast with her family visiting a popular tourist attraction Monday near Las Vegas, a shooting range called Bullets and Burgers.
All right, go ahead and give me one shot.
The instructor, 39-year-old Charles Vaca, switches the gun to full automatic. But when she fires, she loses control, accidentally shooting Vaca dead.
It's like losing a brother. These aren't employees or associates of ours. These are family.
The shooting is tragically similar to this one in 2008 when an 8-year-old boy fired an Uzi. It recoiled, killing him. There's no federal law prohibiting children from shooting ranges. In Pennsylvania, one range we found, kids have to be 12 or older. In California, 7. One Texas range allows kids to pull the trigger as young as 6. Some firing ranges, like the Centennial Gun Club in Colorado, say that is too young.
We've chosen not to let a 9-year-old shoot in our club.
Yeah.
Why? Well, they're still developing, and there's a strength issue, there's a maturity issue, there's a competency issue.
Today, we fired the same caliber bullet. You can see the kick. A powerful force that some firearms experts say may be too much for kids to handle. Clayton Sandell, ABC News, Denver.
And we have a big headline to tell you about tonight. A lawsuit filed by parents across the country worried about children's sports and concussions. The parents are asking the governing officials of soccer leagues to ban any player under 14 years old from heading a soccer ball. The parents also want the leagues to monitor the medical condition of current and former players. And next, we're going to celebrate with the people of Chicago and Philadelphia. These images out of Chicago, a parade for the U.S. Little League champs, Jackie Robinson West. They fell short of winning the World Series, but it didn't stop thousands of fans from showering them with confetti. And in Philadelphia, a hero's welcome for the breakout star Mo'ne Davis, the girl with a 70-mile-per-hour fastball, and of course, all her teammates as well. And up next tonight, our Made in America investigation. Products that say they're made in America, really made in China? Tonight, David Muir and the American workers fighting back. And next tonight, our Made in America investigation. Customers who believe they're buying products made in America, right down to the packaging. But as you're about to see, despite the flags, the red, white, and blue, they're actually made in China. And David Muir, along the head of our Made in America team, is with the American workers fighting back tonight. David.
Yeah, they are fighting mad, Diane. We know the power of those three words, Made in America. Customers actually looking for the labels again. But what happens when that label doesn't really mean what it says?
So many of you at home have tweeted us, emailed us, and sent us those images. Those dish towels, for example, complete with the American flag, down below, made in China. The oven mitts by American Mills, made in Pakistan. Or how about this, We Glove the USA, made in Vietnam. Colleen wrote me, look at this box of roofing materials, the American flag all over it, made in China. And many of you have pointed out this one, United States sweaters, made in China. It seems the whole world knows the power of saying something is made in America, and many are putting American flags all over their products, even when they're not made here. One viewer asking, what are they thinking? Authorities say they're thinking Made in America sells. At the International Property Rights Center, we were given a first-hand look.
Do you think Americans would be shocked to know just how much of what they're buying is actually fake?
I think most Americans have no idea.
Director Lev Kubiak takes us into the room where they've pulled out the fakes, and he says one of the most eye-opening examples, that language learning tool, Rosetta Stone, which is made in America by American workers. But it turns out some people are copying it, saying it's made here when it's not.
This looks like the Rosetta Stone you would order from the American company.
Right.
And yet this one came from
China. This one came from China.
In fact, look closer at the spelling errors. 100% guaranteed, missing an E. Even the State Department spelled wrong. And the Peace Corps, look how they spelled it. Who made this?
These are two websites side by side here.
Correct.
One is the real thing, and one is the fake.
Can you tell which?
We were stumped.
I mean, it's really hard to tell which one is fake and which one is the real thing.
All different websites selling Rosetta Stone, and all of them fake.
But if you go to the real website, you'll find this picture of this woman.
Exact picture.
So they have stolen this picture of the woman from the real website.
And just imagine tonight how those American workers on the line feel. We went to find them in Virginia.
There's someone out there that's making their own money off of our own hard work.
But tonight, with help from federal authorities, they're hoping to get a handle on this and to get some of those jobs back.
I look at counterfeiting as an obstacle that we're going to overcome.
But it's a big one. They show us the stacks of counterfeits sent in by customers who thought they were made here.
All of these products here are counterfeit Rosetta Stone products.
And it angers them to think of workers overseas putting these boxes together.
With people that didn't care half as much as these folks care.
And tonight, they revealed this number, 35% of their business lost to counterfeiters. And they want that business and those American jobs back.
Made in America!
Just incredible to think of the jobs they could add if they could just knock down a fraction of this. And Diane, the spelling errors on the boxes, the State Department, the Peace Corps, so check the box at home.
Of course, that's where we began, trying to help create American jobs. How many reports on Made in America have we done over the years?
We asked the producers for the Made in America team to crunch the numbers today. 150 reports and updates since we began this 3 years ago. Small towns all over America looking for those small town victories.
You're going to have something for us next week?
Next week, we've got another Made in America and involves something all of our fighter pilots rely on. And I brought you something back.
How nice. I just want to say to everyone watching again, what you know. You have seen David Muir at this desk, in this chair so many times. You know his command and commitment to bringing you the news. And let me just say to you personally right here, I cannot wait to see you in high gear. Let it begin.
And it's been an honor sitting across from you.
And when we come back, I want to take you behind the scenes here at World News. Talk about an honor. You have to meet some friends who are at the heart of this broadcast, and you will next. And next here now, I'd like to take you behind the scenes of this broadcast to meet some true friends who are the heart of World News, night after night. Night after night, behind the desk, beyond the camera, the team of ABC World News on a journey to bring you the news from around the world. Here we are, all these years. Walk into this building in the morning, so much history, so much curiosity and passion and dedication. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is what we call the Rim, an oval-shaped nerve center of news and ideas.
There's an uber concern, though, about
Executive producer Michael Korn. Senior producer.
There is a dangerous forest fire brewing at the West Coast.
Editorial traffic cops of everything pouring in.
Let's go see the Cube people.
And over in the corner, the young faces of what we call Cubeland.
Yes.
The people who are going to run this news division someday. Then up a secret shortcut of stairs, a warren of edit rooms with our brilliant producers and editors.
Come in, say hello. Hi.
Hello. Hi. Then there's the graphics department.
Most talented people on the face of the universe.
And our powerful Washington Bureau. Our teams across the country. Our teams around the globe. Working under tight deadlines every single day. And every now and then, game for, say, a group sing. For no reason, or for our ABC president, Ben Sherwood. We kindly ask you not judge the singing.
Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow.
And as the countdown begins, out of the work clothes, getting ready for air.
Transformed!
In the studio, the people who are front and center with me every night. Again, so much dedication and intelligence. Determination and the certainty of purpose. They're doing it for you.
These are the moments to remember.
A smile and a hug and a team always at the ready.
Here with the new stars, singing a new song, guiding our way.
Tomorrow and next week and every week beyond.
Hey guys, see you around.
Hi.
For sure.
And there's one more place I'd like to show you. If you can, our director, Dave DeStenti. Here we go. Up into the control room, the team waving back at you. Thanks, guys, for every single night. And when we come back, you know I'm not going far, and I have a personal note for everyone watching. See you in a minute. And now it is time to say goodnight. And I just want you to know what a deep privilege it has been to sit in the anchor chair at World News these years, the flagship broadcast of ABC, where Peter Jennings created a signature of such curiosity and courage. It has been wonderful to be the home port for the brave and brilliant forces of ABC News around the world, and to feel every single night you and I were in a conversation about the day together. Sometimes, as we know, there have been tough stories on World News, but you always made it clear, like me, you believe better will come, that the future is one of possibility. And there has been so much to celebrate here as well. Connections, community, America, and the generosity of our neighbors next door. I want you to know none of that will change. World News is dedicated to what informs you, and we always hope helps make your life better. And on a personal note, as I said, I'm not going far, down the hall, up the stairs, and I am not slowing down, but gearing up in a new way, already at work on some of the stories that take you into the real lives around us, the ones we rarely get to see. And starting next week, the anchor and managing editor, David Muir, will be right here. He is my friend, and you are in strong and steady hands. So one last time, it is good to know you were watching tonight. To Mike and the 4 grandchildren and their perfect parents, look forward to being home early for some dinners again. And with gratitude for these years, I thank you. And I'll see you right back here on ABC News very soon. Good night.
ABC News honored winner of 5 Edward R. Murrow Awards, including being singled out, recognized as the winner for overall excellence in television and radio. No wonder more Americans choose ABC News.